Hello, welcome to Testing Days. Sorry for starting late today. Today my connection is even worse than usual, but today we have a nice team here with us. We will be talking about Ubuntu Budgie. Starting late today. Sorry, my connection is even worse than usual, but today we have a nice team here with us. We will be talking about Ubuntu Budgie. Starting late today. Sorry, connections even worse than usual, but
really good feedback there.
Josh, are you looping like more than once?
I thought I had that totally controlled by now. You would have assumed. So let's start again. Welcome to today with us. It's here the Ubuntu Budgie team. We are continuing our series of Ubuntu flavors. So let's start with introductions. Let's see who's here with us. Do you want to start, Kyle?
Sure. My name is Kyle Fazzari. You all probably know me by now. I've been here pretty much every week. I'm on the Snapcraft team, working on the Snap developer experience. David, you want to go next?
If I just talk, yes. My name is David Mohammed. I'm the project lead for Ubuntu Budgie. I sort of started this little project by accident, by sort of talking. Well, I saw something from Mark. He left a note on a chat, and I said, "Oh, that looks interesting." Created a demo of what Budgie could look like on Ubuntu, and it sort of went from there. So that's me. A little history from the thing. Everybody else?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm Vincenzo, and I'm the brand and PR manager for Ubuntu Budgie. This is a new adventure for me, and I'm the new entry of the team because I usually work in the music market, but technology is one of my biggest passions, so why not?
Okay, I guess it's my turn.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, my name is Nicole, and I'm a web developer for the Ubuntu Budgie website. So basically, what you see is what you get, and the whole thing was actually a challenge to see if we can actually bring something along with Budgie, being the product that we use is actually the same age as Ubuntu Budgie. So both things are new, including Ubuntu Budgie, and shout out to the PageKit, the CMS we're using.
Great. Thanks everybody for coming. I'm Leo Arias. I'm QA engineer on Ubuntu. And the idea of this space is just to have a relaxed chat, talk about an interesting new project that's happening right now, and figure out how we can contribute with these developers. So that's what we will be doing now. If you're watching on ubuntuonair.com, there's a box in there with the chat. You can ask your questions and we will send them here as we speak. But I will stop talking now. Do you want to tell us something about Budgie, David? Maybe a little history. What's the things that you're doing there?
So I mentioned that Mark left a little message on I think it was on a Google chat there, saying it was just talking about Budgie and the Solus project, who were launching or relaunching their distro, and I saw the code there, and I thought, well, it'd be a nice little challenge. I thought to see if I can even compile this thing. Fortunately, the instructions were pretty straightforward. I went forward. I thought, well, let's see if we can turn it into an ISO. Great. Created a dummy ISO. Sent a message on a Reddit board, and surprised with the feedback actually on that one. It's also, I think we went from there. So we launched just after the 1604 LTS one on our first edition there. It was a bit rough and ready for the 1604, but that was expected because we only had about 4 weeks to do things. 1604.1 came and we pretty much had sorted out all the issues there in terms of compilation and all of that. It was really at 16.10 that we got really our gear into motion there. And we approached the canonical technical boards, and fortunately they said yes in November. really, we spent from November right to the end of the release there, sorting out all our issues, trying to get it into the canonical build system. But I think we've got a good product. Hopefully people are enjoying what they've seen if they've downloaded and had a look at it. I can show a demonstration if you want to see it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, we'd love to see it.
All right, let's see if I can use this technology there. Right, I think I hit screen share, do I? Let's go for that, shall we? It looks entirely logical.
I see Kyle now. I see Budgie now.
There we go. Right, so what we've got here is a pretty traditional desktop. It's built on GNOME technologies currently here. So it is a clean code base. It's not a fork of anything. It's a clean built shell on top of all GNOME technologies such as Mutter, GTK3. At the top here, we've got a panel type thing where you can see your applications, very much Mate-like, but the panel is fully customizable as well. Across here is something we particularly like, and it's called Raven here. And out of the box, you can control your speakers, what you can see. All your notifications, there we go. There's a notification there that we see. It sees it in part of as a history, but this little button here is the key. I think you can customize Budgie to your heart's content. You can add more panels if you want. You can change your icon themes, backgrounds, fonts, whatever. It's all accessible, and that's what I really love about that. But as I said, it's built on GNOME technologies as well, so what you see here is you can see all the good old GNOME stuff. Is excellent software that they produce, and we really have used the best, what we think of the GNOME software there, and sort of brought it together in one complete distro. I'm hopefully. Anybody else want to say anything?
We have a new member here in the call. Would you like to introduce yourself, Hex? Oh, can you hear us?
Maybe not.
I can see
Yes, the
He's muted.
audio off.
Yes, you're muted.
No worries. Let me just complete this, just the quick tour, and I'm just going to give you a really quick tour of what we are particularly proud of. And funnily enough, a lot of the video bloggers, a lot of them have concentrated on. And this Budgie welcome screen, we absolutely love this. So when a person first installs, you get to go through and set up your system exactly how you want it, what software you want, making sure you get the right updates there. If you want to install any restricted extras, you can install your drivers, anything else that you need to do there. And we're particularly proud of this as well, because we're all about customization here at Budgie, and we know browsers are one of those things that people really get excited about. So we allow you to install via one click anything you like. So we install Chromium by default. You can install Firefox, you can install Chrome or Vivaldi, anything that you want there. So out of the box, it's really easy to get up and running, all via a single click. So that's the welcome screen there. And then you can go in further if you want to investigate and do various bits and pieces. Because right down here, we got the ability to really completely rechange your whole desktop, how it looks there. We can change it from your default, which is an Arc theme based with Mocha based icons. We can change to adapter based material design with the theme, the icons. and fonts as well, all linked material. And an alternative there is using the Vimix theme with a different set of icons as well. So all of this is one click there, and your whole desktop changes there. And this is an area we're certainly going to be looking at in 17.10 is sort of bringing this together to enable people to change their layouts to the way they work. So we're thinking about a Mac type look and feel. We're looking at sort of a very traditional GNOME 2 base where you have a top and bottom panel. And we're also looking to give the option of a classic budgie. So a classic budgie is where you don't have a separate dock running here. You have the icons in the top there and the date on the right hand side. So you're planning on maintaining all of these themes, is that correct? No, these themes. So what we do is try to be as flexible as possible. So where the material already exists out there in terms of PPAs, or if it's already installed in the repositories or something like that, we actually link and install via that. We don't try and maintain these ourselves. That's the absolutely key thing that we're there. There's some brilliant maintainers out there, and there's no point in trying to just copy their stuff and looking after that stuff. They're looking after it well, and we're recognizing their PPAs are well looked after. We simply just link to those and install the software from that. So people always will get the updates as soon as those maintainers update their stuff.
I love the title bar that you have in there. Can you show us like the things that you are doing there differently?
For example, I didn't understand.
Leo, what are you talking about, Leo?
Yes, the back button there in the title. It's really interesting. Is that specific to this application, or is this something that will appear on every browser like application?
Well, the way that Budgie does its displays is unlike, for example, GNOME Shell there, where you see the app menu up in the for some reason I've never understood GNOME Shell why it sticks its app menu right up inside of the panel there. It's all part and parcel of the application, so you can see your application, what preference, what options that you need for the application itself, as well as the things that's going on there. It's all together as part of the application itself. And we sort of follow that theme through in terms of our Budgie welcome screen and other bits and pieces that we're looking at as well. So that's where we are currently in terms of 1704.
That looks really nice. If you click and drag on one of the menus in the bar, will it move the window or will it select the menu? Does that make sense?
In terms of
no. So like if you go to the hamburger menu there on the terminal, right? Instead of clicking on it, if you click and drag, will it move the window or will it select the hamburger menu?
So standard maps, if that's what you're talking about, you can click and drag anything you want there actually.
Well, put your mouse over the menu button on the right. Yeah, like that. Click there and drag. Will it select the menu or move the window? Does that?
I honestly not too sure where we're going with that, but anyway.
Well, that was when Unity moved from supporting only global menus to also putting them in the title bar of the window. That was a challenge, right? Is when you click on the menu, do you show the menu, or if they're dragging, do you move the window instead?
So, as I said, we use sort of mainly GNOME applications there, and virtually all the GNOME applications that we have here have these client-side decorations. So they don't have a separate menu itself. We don't tend to do that. So they all show their menus as part of that client-side decoration itself.
Well,
that looks very nice.
I must say that I like that a lot better than what I have here. So I will just jump and give it a try for a while. It's pretty nice, pretty good looking.
So just moving on really quickly to what we're thinking about in terms of 17.10 there, and we've got Bash is looking at these packaging aspects there. We got a really great developer, a third-party developer who's created what's called a global menu, and we're looking to see if we can bring that into Budgie itself. So where you have applications that do just show a traditional menu itself, people have asked us to actually move that menu into the top of the title bar there. So we're trying to look at that to see if we can integrate that well into Budgie. Already we've got packaged up what we call the pixel saver applet as well. So it's one of these where if you maximize a window, the whole top bar itself goes straight into the menu there. So the panel itself. So it saves you that little bit of extra space. It's great for those users who've got slightly lower resolution spec than what I'm using here. So it just gives them that extra little flexibility. Okay, that's the end of my quick demonstration. Any questions?
Can you tell us a little about Solus? Is that an independent operating system, or is it based on something else?
Right. So the way the projects are architected is that now what it is, you've got the overarching project called Budgie Desktop. Okay. And the team there, which we are part of, actually, we're part of the Budgie Desktop team, working with Ike Doherty. You got the downstreams from that, so they think about the Solus distro and also the Ubuntu distro and all the others as well. So we know there are variants of the Budgie Desktop on Takeus. I've seen one on Arch, Fedora as well, and I think there's one on Mandriva as well. So Budgie Desktop is growing in popularity, but in terms of a distro, my understanding is that ourselves and Solus are the main consumers of Budgie Desktop. I'm probably going to get beaten up later and say, why have you mentioned my other distro there? But I think we're the current two main consumers of the Budgie Desktop here.
Interesting. So if somebody listening wants to contribute to Budgie, how can they talk to you? Do you have a forum, a chat? How are you doing development?
Okay, so we've got different ways of contacting and communicating with the community. So we are on Facebook itself, we are on G+, we've got forums on Reddit, and I've probably forgotten Twitter as well. So, but mainly if you want a face-to-face or a text-based chat, we've got our own community chat room called on Gitter as well. We've got an IRC room as well, but that's something that people haven't really taken to. A lot of people come straight to our chat room on Gitter as well. So where you have a good interaction between the developers themselves, the community, and also the community can talk to each other as well. We notice a great thing happening now where people come in and other members of the community actually help out as well, which is really exciting to see that.
So the website is ubuntubudgie.org, right?
Yeah, .org, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we've got a quick question from another member here. There was an article recently about Budgie moving to Qt. Can you talk a little bit about how that's going?
Right, so this is the proposal for where people get a little confused on what's happening here. So one of the key things with Budgie that it is so deeply embedded within the GNOME technologies. This is the window manager, GTK3, and as those areas, those components move forward along into GNOME Shell, what has been noticed is getting harder and harder to maintain Budgie as well, which is effectively trying to interact with each of those different components. So what iKey is doing is looking at ways of trying to take the bit where you click and show things, and the pixels on the screen there, change that into Qt-based technology. But the idea is, from the end user point of view, you won't actually see anything different than what you do now. See now, so it will interact with your GTK3 based applications. Your Qt based applications will effectively become first-class citizens in many ways, which is absolutely brilliant as well. So the idea is that we'll move forward, but we'll move forward in such a way that we don't have to keep on depending on GNOME and try and understand when GNOME changes and potentially break things in Budgie, that we can move along in such a way that to keep a very stable platform.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting to watch going forward. I'm a big Qt fan, so.
Okay, and recently the Artful Archive was open. Are you already developing for the new release? Do you have your archives open there too?
Someone you want to take up and show what the Trello board is? You want to pick that one up? Pick it up.
Sorry, I got broken connection again. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Other members of the team, I was hoping it was going to sort of pick up on that. Okay, so we got some ideas in terms of what's happening in terms of 17.10. We've got a Trello board going at the moment, which is a public board with various different ideas of what that we're going to be pursuing there. I quickly outlined that as when I was talking there, in terms of looking at the customizability of Budgie Desktop there, and sort of taking some of the ideas that the community has always given us as part of 17.04 and see if we can look at bringing that towards the 17.10. So the pixel saver, the global menu, the layout type manager, those sort of aspects there we're going to be looking at as well. We're in a very interesting time here because we just released 10.2.9 of Budgie Desktop. 10.3 in the last week has just been released. 10.3.1 in the last few days has just been released. So we could, in theory, stick with 10.3 for 17.10. Also coming along the lines as well is the Qt-based platform. Now, that's a little bit much more work there, and the timescales there are looking to be possibly July, maybe a little later. There's no firm deadlines there, so that's going to be interesting in terms of 17.10, whether we can get that Qt-based desktop into Ubuntu, given it's we have to go through put it through Debian first, obviously test it, put it, and then sync it back into Ubuntu, make sure it all works. And of course, if things slip in any way, that makes it very, very difficult, because obviously the freeze date is mid-August. So it's a touch and go whether we will go to the Qt-based platform for 17.10, or if we stick with the 10.3 based platform and then bring the Qt-based one in for the 18.04 release. So
one other thing, just to interject here, David, sorry to interrupt, is I believe iKey also has one more release that he's planning to do on the 10.3 series before he starts actively pushing on 11, I think.
Yeah, we understand at the moment that's going to be probably within the next week or so there with these are some minor issues that we have with 10.3 there.
Okay. So it's further along than I thought it was then. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a quick release. What Ike is doing is really looking ahead now, just tidying up the main usability issues, that the outstanding usability issues on the 10.3 release, and then going full steam ahead on the Qt development there.
So would it be a good way to help if we install Ubuntu Budgie on the Artful release and start testing everything that you land on the unstable distro?
It's certainly from the intention here is that I'm going to sync with 10.3 with Debian Experimental next week, and then I'm going to ask for that to be synced back into Ubuntu. At that point, we will have a 10.3 release there that we're going to concentrate on. So that's for the next month or so. That is our absolute focus there, to make sure that that 10.3 release there is absolutely stable there, and we're bringing things together there.
All right. So
along the lines, we will look ahead as well and just see how far, what progress is being made with the Qt platform. And if it looks like it is going much better than before, then obviously we start looking to package that up and put it into Debian and then sync it back into Ubuntu there. But if things look like it's slipping, then we'll probably concentrate and try and polish the 10.3 release for 17.10. So yes, from a testing point of view, we're in the middle of two things there we're looking for. Obviously looking at 10.3, but we're also looking out for this Qt-based release as well.
Sounds fun. So please keep us informed when you make these big updates, big changes. I'm sure the bigger Ubuntu community will be interested to help. We are taking a look at all the various alternatives that are out there to Unity 7. So this becomes even more relevant now, more interesting to everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely. One thing I know Vincenzo is specifically looking at here is that sort of interaction with the community there, how we can get the community involved much more in what we're doing and how they can help with each other as well. So we're trying to make sure that the community is fully involved in what we're up to as well.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. So thanks a lot for coming. Thanks a lot for the really nice demo. The work that you are doing is looking very good. So thanks for growing the community here. Do you want to tell us about something else before we close?
I'll leave that to the rest of the guys if they want to shout out, but otherwise, thanks very much.
Well, the one thing I'd throw in here, sorry I got here late, but just DigitalOcean's been helping us out quite a bit. They just came on as a sponsor, so they've been super supportive. And relatively, I'm new to the team, and I just want to thank everyone for including me. And that's that. And I apologize for being late.
Oh, that's all right. Thanks for hopping in, Dustin.
Yeah, I was late too, and I was the one that had to hit the start button. So don't worry. Okay, so remember testing days. We are trying to do this every Friday, but next Friday probably we will be focusing on documentation. We will keep you informed about the details later. And if you want to watch previous episodes, just go to youtube.com/UbuntuOnAir, and you will find in there everything about this series. If you want to talk to us, we hang in rocket.ubuntu.com. If you want to start contributing to a free software project, we can give you a hand. And this is a great project to start contributing, ubuntubudgie.org. So thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks, David, Dustin, Hex, Nicola, thanks, Vincenzo, and thanks, as usual, to Kyle. We will talk again soon. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Yeah.